free publicity. Now you think of an influencer as Kim Kardashian wearing a girdle, and she instantly sells 10 million girdles, Skims. But at Kiss Cafe, in walks a micro-influencer. Now you're saying, what's that? Well, basically, it's an influencer who's not that popular. They have a microscopic following. Here's one.
I'm like still shaking and I feel so frazzled, but I just left a restaurant collaboration crying.
Carla here has only 15,000 followers, and the chef is like, why should I give her free food?
He was saying that I have too little followers and that this was a mistake.
He asks, did you do any research?
Whenever I go to a restaurant, I study the menu because I know what I like to order.
Carla read the menu online, like my wife does.
He says he's a James Beard Award recipient or finalist or something, and I'm like, great, like I don't know what to say to that.
Carla doesn't know what a James Beard Award-winning chef is. She has no following. Why does she get free food? Luke Sung said no. So Carla left the restaurant and posted a crying video, which went viral, of course. The pitchfork mob went after Luke. The investors had to let go of their award-winning chef because of the bad publicity. Luke's out of a job. But Carla is
popular.
As of last Friday, crying Carla is no longer a micro-influencer. Her Kiss Cafe video went viral. She picked up 500,000 TikTok followers. She's a real influencer now. So if you think there's no such thing as a free lunch, start posting to social media.
It's all about popular.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Ricky Mees.
Traffic already heavy and slow southbound I-15 going between 53rd South Murray past 7200 South in Midvale, and then after that you're right back to the speed limit and rolling along all the way through Utah County. All clear northbound I-15. That's in both Salt Lake and Utah counties. We did have a small accident in Parley's Canyon eastbound on I-80 prior to the summit. It's out of traffic on the shoulder, so no delay. And if you're traveling to the westbound on the 21st South Freeway, seeing good speeds between I-15 and Mountain View Corridor. Eric?
We do have that accident northbound Bangerter at the 201 highway, and a little bit of slowing going by there, as you might expect. Southbound slowing in the usual spot, going from Mountain View Corridor down to 3500 South in West Valley City. Right now, I-15 is looking pretty solid northbound out of downtown, heading up through Davis and Weaver counties. We're looking at a little bit of slowing going through the Farmington area, but that's just reduced speeds. And then by the time you get up to Ogden, you're basically looking at a 30-minute drive out of downtown. Tax problems keeping you up at night? Get the IRS off your back. Let Utah Tax Attorney Jordan Wilcox stop IRS harassment now. Visit endtaxworry.com. That's endtaxworry.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
We've got increasing clouds today, high of 52 degrees, very, very mild for early December. 41 overnight, partly cloudy skies. High pressure moves a little bit closer. We've got partly cloudy conditions on Wednesday, high of 57 degrees. 16 above the normal on Thursday with a high of 56, mostly sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
57 degrees, and we have breaking news on KSL News Radio. Kentucky State University is on lockdown. One person has been killed, another injured in a shooting there. Kentucky State University in Frankfort. Police say there is a suspect in custody. The school remains locked down. It's unclear if those who were shot were students at the school. Stay with us for the very latest at KSL News Radio.
I'm Jordan Wilcox, your Utah tax attorney. When life gets overwhelming, some things tend to fall by the side.
I'm Carlos Sanchez from Draper, Utah. I was managing a business, helping out a business, doing paperwork and getting paid, and my wife got sick. We filed taxes, but then we got out of it. And when I went and talked to the IRS, they didn't give me any choice. The IRS pretty much said, this is what you owe us, when are you gonna pay us? And we're talking quite a bit, but every time I drive, I listen to the radio. Jordan Wilcox, Jordan Wilcox. So I figure there's a reason this guy's on the radio. So I called him.
Put an end to IRS collection and aggression today.
The amount that the IRS came up with, close to $250,000, and the offer in compromise was about $7,600. That's it.
This is Utah Tax Attorney Jordan Wilcox. Let's solve your IRS nightmare. Visit endtaxworry.com.
Go for it. The outcome, it was worth it. I'm okay.
endtaxworry.com.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Arctic Spas, hot tubs and swim spas with stores in Salt Lake, American Fork, and St. George. Comfort with multi-level seating, 100% massaging jets, and adjustable pillows. ArcticSpasUtah.com.
KSL News Time 3:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
the man who was carrying a gun at the No Kings protest, sparking a peacekeeper to fire shots into the crowd, is now speaking out about his time in jail. He says he was treated like an animal for days despite never firing a shot. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, 1 person is dead, another critically injured. Kentucky State University is in lockdown this afternoon. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
Traffic already heavy and a little slow. Southbound I-15, Murray and Midvale were clear. Northbound I-15, that's from Provo up to Riverdale Road. And some slowdowns due to the road work. Eastbound I-80 starting after Bangerter to go southbound on I-215's West Belt. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Some more clouds today, but still in the 50s. We get even warmer tomorrow. I'm Matt Johnson.
57 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. More Epstein-related files may be on the way. A federal judge today approved the release of investigative records in the New York case against Epstein confidant Ghislaine Maxwell that could amount to hundreds or thousands of unseen documents.
This is from Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. So this is information that sure will be pertinent to the file release that the Justice Department will allegedly comply with, but it is far from the full amount of materials in the Justice Department's possession.
ABC's Catherine Falder says records that were initially sealed can now be made public under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which Congress passed and President Trump signed. Tonight, the president addresses a town hall invitation only in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Affordability is the main topic. Expectations are the Fed will cut interest rates tomorrow. The president has pulled back his earlier support for releasing video of the second strike on a boat in the Caribbean that killed 2 survivors. This is what he told Politico.
Have you watched the video?
He was stopping. I watched everything, yeah. I watch everything. I see a lot of things.
And do you believe that that second strike was necessary?
Well, it looked like they were trying to turn back over the boat, but I don't get involved in that. That's up to them.
4 senior Trump administration officials asked today if they will release the full video ignored the question. They're the CIA director, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. There's been a shooting this afternoon on the campus of Kentucky State University. Campus police say a suspect is in custody. Students have been told to avoid the South Campus residence halls. Meta says it doesn't agree with Australia's ban now underway on social media accounts held by users under 16, but it says it will comply and deactivate their Instagram, Facebook, and Thread accounts. At the closing bell, the Dow fell 179. The S&P fell 6. You're listening to ABC News.
KSL News Time 3:18. There's been another arrest in the death of a trucker found off I-80 in Tooele County last year. His ex-wife is now cuffed and charged with murder.
Newly unsealed court documents say that Jaspinder Singh was found dead in his truck in September of 2024 near Dell in Tooele County. He was zip-tied and had lacerations on his neck and lower body. Police used security footage from gas stations to determine a Mercedes had been following him on his route between Utah and California. They linked that Mercedes to Jaspinder Dillon and arrested him a month later. But now investigators have also arrested Singh's ex-wife, Jastinder Purewal. Purewal had since remarried someone else, but Dillon and Purewal appeared to be in a relationship at that time. Police say phone records revealed the two of them were on the phone for several hours while they believed DeLone was following Singh and killing him, but Purewal tried to hide those records from police. Now she's being charged with obstruction of justice as well as aggravated murder and kidnapping. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
We have breaking news at KSL. Authorities have found the remains of a 75-year-old man missing out of San Juan County since late November. The sheriff's office says Joseph Paychuk's body was recovered from a pond on his property about 10:45 this morning. His next of kin and family have been notified. Lehigh City is taking steps to help Thanksgiving Point build a new science and technology center. They're expecting it's going to attract hundreds of thousands of visitors a year. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson with more.
This new center would have various labs where kids can go and learn about energy, aerospace, artificial intelligence, and more. And it will even include a domed theater that can visually transport people to locations around the world. But it will cost $60 million to build. And the Lehigh City Council has voted in favor of a plan to help with a $32 million bond. The money would be paid back to the city over 20 years.
If all goes according to plan, construction would start late next year with the building opening in 2028. KSL News Time 3:19. It's traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Ricky Meese.
In Parley's Canyon, we had a report of a crash eastbound I-80 prior to the summit, but it's out of traffic. You're going to see good speeds both directions of I-80 in Parley's between the mouth of the canyon and the summit. Here in the valley, delays are setting in for your drive home southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County, going from 5300 south, not quite to 90th south, and then from Sandy at 90th south all the way to Provo, you're good to go. Northbound I-15 in Utah County starting to get a little busy as you go from Linden up to Pleasant Grove. Then delay-free after that all the way up to the Point and from the Point to downtown. Still looking at a quiet drive westbound on the 21st South Freeway between I-15 through West Valley. Eric?
You got a new configuration on northbound SR 36 coming out of Tooele County today, and that's causing backups at Lake Point, approaching Lake Point. And then once you get over to the actual freeway entrance, it looks good getting on to I-80. If you're eastbound on I-80 in the valley, that transition ramp to go south on 215, that's slow. And you've got southbound slowing on Mountain View Corridor and Bangerter Highway in both cases, approaching 3500 south. Home ownership is slipping away in Utah, and young Utahns are being priced out of their own communities. Learn more about Utah's housing shortage and what we can do to begin to fix it at demandmoresupply.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. High pressure is going absolutely nowhere. Mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 52. 57 tomorrow. That's 17 above the normal on Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies. 56, mostly sunny skies on Thursday. Friday, we're going to go for mostly sunny, 54. Mid to low 50s continue all the way through next Monday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
I mean, kind of crazy. It's 57 degrees under a cloudy sky in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful, ahead of BYU basketball. It's 3:22. We'll check the market next.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother.
At Any Hour Services, they get all kinds of calls this time of year. My son-in-law has a new house. He goes outside to hang the Christmas lights. No outlets. He could tell the kids, no lights this year, kids, sorry. Or he could be a hero and call Any Hour Services. They do electrical, they do heating and air and plumbing. Speaking of which, if you ate too much over Thanksgiving, so did your sink disposal, chewing up meat and bones and vegetable rinds and glop. If the disposal has a severe case of indigestion, you need to call Any Hour. If you have a slow-running drain, they can snake it. Just $29 for any simple drain clog. Whenever you run into trouble with your home, the heat's not hot, you need a new outlet, well, do what I've done for 10 years now. Any Hour does the work. You enjoy the holidays. Check their 27,000 Google reviews, then make an appointment with anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PC Laptops. Myth. You might have heard that you need to spend a fortune these days to get a powerful computer. Correction. At PC Laptops, we wanted to prove that wrong. So here's the most amazing deal that we've ever done at PC Laptops for you in over 30 years. The new 2025 S1 desktop or SM3 laptop for only $999. You heard that right, $999. You get a blazing fast processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and over a terabyte of blazing storage for $999. What else do you get? Lifetime service warranty, and we have 12 months special financing on approved credit. Take one home today. Hurry in right now because supplies are limited, because at PC Laptops, we love you. Just check us out at PCLaptops.com. $999, PCLaptops.com.
This is Andy Farnsworth with One Kind Act Today's Minute of Kindness, brought to you by the Semnani Family Foundation. At Church Hill Junior High, custodian Lee Leafty is more than the man who keeps the halls clean. He's the heart of the school. For 17 years at Church Hill and 47 years in Utah schools overall, Leafty has taken pride in his work environment. He says if you have a clean school, it makes a great learning environment. Principal Trent Hendricks calls him a huge part of what makes Church Hill feel so special, while the students and staff say his real impact goes beyond spotless floors. With Church Hill's 60th anniversary in September, the school celebrated not only its history, but also people like Leafty who make it extraordinary. Who in your school or community makes a difference in small but powerful ways? Find out more at thepowerofkind.org. That's thepowerofkind.org.
Mr. Max, suiting for every important chapter of your life. Weddings, proms, new job, any celebration, mission callings, and more. Mr. Max there to suit your needs with 9 locations or MrMac.com.
We're watching Utah's money. Wall Street was kind of quiet as traders wait to hear the Fed's decision on interest rates tomorrow. It is widely expected they're going to cut rates by a quarter point. The announcement, whatever it is, should come from Fed Chair Jerome Powell by noontime tomorrow. Eli Lilly has just announced a $6 billion plan to build a factory that'll manufacture its new obesity pill. Not an injection. I'm going to try to avoid botching the name. Orforglipron is an experimental pill that works much like Zepbound. Once this pill is approved, Lilly plans to hit the ground running in Huntsville, Alabama. On Wall Street today, the Dow down 179 points. The S&P down, but only 6. The Nasdaq was up 31 points. KSL News Time, 3:27. I have some good news for you today. Pay attention, pull over, whatever. American Home Loans has lowered their mortgage rates to only 5.5% on 30-year loans and 4.75% for 15 years. Yes, 5.5% fixed. But wait, what if rates go down again? No problem. Once you're a customer with American Home Loans, you don't have to worry about paying closing costs every time you refinance. That's right. Every time rates drop by 0.25% or more, they'll refinance you at no cost to you. Zero, zilch, nada. For details, call 801-262-2221. 262-2221. So now you can purchase a home or refinance at only 5.5% on 30 years and 4.75% on 15 years. And then if rates drop later, you can refinance at no cost to you. Call American Home Loans at 801-262-2221, 262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com, AmericanHomeLoans.com. NMLS 245422, APR 5.8 30-year and 5% 15-year. Terms and conditions apply.
You know, most diets will help you lose a few pounds, but Soda Weight Loss will help you lose years. I lost 37 pounds on the Soda Weight Loss program 3 years ago, and I feel younger than I've felt in decades. And it's not because of how I look, it's because of how I feel.
But you do look younger,
Thank
too.
you.
I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, and then I looked at the before and after pictures of myself and was like, wow.
It's something when you don't have to carry all of that excess weight around. And I was at a stage in my life where I didn't want to add drugs to my regimen. I wanted to reduce the number of medications I had to take. So the nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss taught me how to have a healthy relationship with food.
And it was so helpful that I could text my nutritionist anytime I wanted to for advice, which helped me learn what I needed to know so that I could keep it off. And right now, this is the perfect time to join, because if you join now, your partner joins for free. It's the perfect gift for both of you.
It's at Soda weight loss.
SOTAweightloss.com, because soda is, say it with me, Amanda, state of the art.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Ricky Meese.
If you're making your way on southbound I-15 through Salt Lake County, you actually have a pretty good drive from downtown until you get to Murray. We have a new accident near the South Interchange, and it's adding to the slowing from 4500 South to just past 7200 South. Then good after that all the way to Provo. Northbound I-15 getting a little busy and slow as you're approaching the Bangerter Highway exit in Draper. Eric?
We've got just a touch of slowing coming out of downtown, northbound I-15 in the Rose Park area. More significant, eastbound I-80 delays heading to go south on 215. Find a nativity perfect for your home or to gift to loved ones. Every style, every size, every budget. Celebrate the true meaning of Christmas with nativities at Deseret Book and DeseretBook.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Okay, so here's the deal. The BYU Cougars basketball team tips off at 4:30 from Madison Square Garden. They're going to face Clemson in the Jimmy V Classic, and the pregame show is about to begin here on KSL. We're going to catch you tomorrow afternoon. Meantime, I'll let you know we have a warm night in store. The low 41 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be partly cloudy and 57. In fact, hazy with highs in the 50s right through next Monday.
The following is a presentation of the new skid, BYU Sports Network. BYU Cougars basketball is on the air.
A three for Rob Wright, top of the key. That's good! Rob Wright the third!
This is Mountain America Cougar Pregame Live. Mountain America, the official credit union of BYU Athletics. To get you ready for BYU and Clemson, here's your host, Jason Shepard.
Good afternoon/evening, BYU basketball fans. I guess depending on where you are listening right now. Welcome into Cougar Pregame Live, presented by Mountain America, the official credit union of BYU Athletics. Tonight, the BYU Cougars, they are in the Big Apple for a matchup with the Clemson Tigers in the Jimmy V Classic at Madison Square Garden. Both of these teams have been off since last Wednesday. BYU beat Cal Baptist at the Delta Center 91-60. Man, it feels like forever ago that game was played. The Cougars were led by Keba Keita, who tied his career high with 23 points. Keita pulled down 14 rebounds. He blocked 3 shots and had a steal. Just an all-around amazing game for Keba Keita. A.J. DeBonsa was his normal fantastic self, 22 points. He also grabbed 5 boards and dished out 5 assists. It was A.J.'s third game with 20-plus points, which already puts him in a tie for 9th place all-time in program history. The win improved BYU's record to 7-1 on the season. Now, Clemson lost last Wednesday at Alabama, 90-84. The loss dropped the Tigers to 7-2. Clemson's only other loss was against Georgetown, and that game was played in D.C. The Tigers went through a massive overhaul of their roster during the offseason. Only 3 players from last year returned. Clemson hit the portal really hard, added several veterans, including a player that BYU fans will know, that being Jake Wallin, the former BYU commit who ultimately signed with Utah after his mission. Clemson's leading scorer is R.J. Godfrey, who only averages 12 points per game. This isn't really a team that with players that put up huge individual numbers, but if you look at the roster, most of their guys averaging between 7 and 10 points and around 4 or 5 rebounds per game. So guys coming in, they are producing, not at a significantly high level, but everybody contributing to the overall product for the Clemson Tigers. All right, bringing it back to the Cougars, Tyler Maruss has been playing about 12 minutes per game off the bench. The Washington native made his way to BYU from the University of Idaho. Now, I talked with Tyler yesterday, and he talked about his shot not falling right now and how he's working through the first real shooting slump of his career. We also discussed his love of Legos, his thoughts on New York City, but I started things off by asking him about life as a Cougar and how his overall BYU experience is going.
It's been a dream, man. I was talking to my parents actually the other day about this, like we beat like Villanova, North Carolina, Wisconsin. I would never have seen myself, beating these teams one day because, I grew up watching them playing in the March Madness, marquee programs and, like playing in like Madison Square Garden, the TD Garden. Like this is a dream come true, honestly. Like I loved my time at BYU.
What was the highest profile game you ever played at while at Idaho?
Probably against BYU at the Marriott Center. Honestly, it has to be.
Speaking of that, take listeners back to the offseason. When did BYU present itself as an option for you, and what ultimately led you to choosing to come to Provo?
So it was kind of like my second cycle during like the recruiting process. One of my really good friends back home knew Coach Dunson, played for him at the University of Denver, and kind of just put my name in his ear. And then they kind of just started recruiting me because they had me on their board, but they didn't really have any connection to me. But once they had that connection, they really started recruiting me. And then like kind of after that, it really just picked up from there. I remember talking to Dunson, and then like maybe 5 days later talking to KY, and then like 2 days later getting on a Zoom. And then maybe another day later, I was out in Provo. So it was really fast paced.
You could never have even imagined when you're playing that game at the Marriott Center. I mean, it's not even on your radar that in a few short months you're going to actually be part of that home team.
No, that definitely did not cross my mind. I thought like in the back of my head it would be cool to play at a place like BYU. So it kind of in that sense it's kind of full circle. But yeah, no, I never would have saw myself playing here though.
Has it helped acclimate to a team and a school with so many other guys also being new?
Yeah, it's helped, and I think the fact that every dude on this team is just super cool guys and like very hard workers, and we all bought into winning. So I think that part plays a really big factor in this whole process. So it's been pretty smooth, and I think a lot of guys have been helping me with my own like shortcomings and like downfalls, just like playing at this level and just kind of just getting acclimated to it.
Who do you hang out with most on the team? Who are you closest to?
I'd probably say Mihailo Boskovic, my Serbian brother. Yeah.
So what do you guys do? What do you guys do when you hang out?
We eat a lot together. Like we like go out to like food spots and stuff. We've done like escape rooms. I think we've done pretty much everything. Xavier Stan's another guy I hang out with a lot, and we like always go to the Lego store. Always looking for Legos and stuff like that. Yeah.
Is that a new hobby for you, or is that something you've always been into, the Legos?
No, I've always been into it, but like I've never had another person like so into it like me. So it's like feeding into my addiction kind of a little bit, which is not great.
That's not something I've ever gotten into, but I know how big that is. Do you go and buy like the Lego sets and put them together, or do you buy stuff and then kind of create your own thing? What do you do with them?
When I was younger, my brothers hated me for this. I would break all the Lego sets and I would just create my own things. But now I kind of just build those sets and just let them be, have them as decorations. But yeah, when I was younger, I was a Lego menace.
What's the coolest Lego set you've put together?
The coolest Lego set it's probably this new one I got. It's like this like skeleton T-Rex from like Jurassic Park. It's pretty sick. It's huge too. It's really big.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned
Yeah.
Xavier, and I was actually talking to him the other day for pregame, and we were talking about staying ready for the time when your number's called. You're
Yeah.
averaging about 12 minutes per game right now. How have you handled being ready when coach says, "Hey, get in there, we need you"? How are you handling being ready for those moments?
Like I said before, this whole process has been like a dream come true. And like I'm already at the spot where I've been like, working super hard to be at my whole life. So when I get my opportunity, I'm not gonna let it squander because I want to play in these type of moments. I want to play against these type of teams. Just gotta get my shots start falling. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the last piece of it.
How frustrating is that? Because we know how good of a shooter you are. Is it just trying to work through being patient and letting the process run its course?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's been a lot of patience. And this process has been a little frustrating because I haven't really been in like sort of a slump like this before. But like I said before, I've had a lot of teammates like Richie Saunders and coaches that have really helped me through this process and kind of, give my confidence back. I'm feeling really confident going into this next game for sure. I feel like I'm back into a rhythm and the swing of things. So I'm excited to let it rip.
You mentioned how excited you are to play at Madison Square Garden, a place like that. I've been outside Madison Square Garden a couple of times. I have never been inside, so it's certainly on the bucket list. Is this your
Yeah.
first time in New York as well, or have you been to New York
First
before?
time. First time.
Okay, so what is the city like for you? I'm curious. I've been there, I guess, 3 times now. So what was your experience when you got there and realized, oh my gosh, I'm in New York City?
Like I said, we ate dinner and then we kind of just started walking around. We went to Times Square, Rockefeller Center, Empire State Building, and like kind of like what you said, like I realized, I was like, man, I've seen all these places on the movies, but like now I'm actually like here, and it's crazy because like New York has like a certain kind of aura that like, you know, no other cities I've ever been to has had. But there's a lot of characters out there, a lot of like strange people out there.
Yeah, you're gonna see. Look, whatever you think about New York, you're probably going to see it in New York
Yeah.
City. But that's kind of like you said, it has kind of a life of its own, and that's kind of what makes it exciting because you never know what to expect when you're walking around the streets of New York City. It certainly never sleeps, that's for sure.
For sure. The streets are packed. Like you can't even move. You can't even drive. Like if I would never live in this city because
Yeah.
like you're at standstill traffic wherever you go.
All right, last thing, and obviously, you know, we've talked a lot of other things, but you're actually there to play a basketball game, and you're taking on a pretty good Clemson team. What are your thoughts on this matchup against the Clemson Tigers?
It's going to be a very tough matchup. They got a lot of experience, a lot of older dudes, and a lot of physicality. It's going to be pretty similar to the Wisconsin game, just because of how their bigs play. But I think their Clemson's bigs are even more physical. So it's really just going to be, you know, a battle in the trenches and a battle on the glass, I think. But I think that we have a good chance to beat a really good Clemson team in Madison Square Garden. So I'm pretty hyped about it.
Yeah, what an opportunity for you guys to be in that venue and against a good opponent. You know, an opportunity to continue to improve on the record and build yourself up as you guys get closer and closer to Big 12 play. Tyler, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun talking to you. I really do appreciate you taking a few minutes. Enjoy New York City and enjoy playing at Madison Square Garden. I appreciate it.
Will do. I appreciate you too.
All right, that was Tyler Marussa. I really enjoyed it. I've talked to him a couple of times, just, you know, in passing and things like that, but to be able to get a little bit of a better idea about his personality, it's always fun to be able to get to know these players on a different level and to kind of find out what they like and some of their interests and things like that. And you heard him. He's a big Lego guy, and certainly taking in the sights and sounds and everything that New York has to offer while the team is in New York City getting ready for this game against Clemson, who, by the way, BYU, this will be the third time BYU will have faced the Clemson Tigers. Cougars 0 for 2 in the previous two matchups. It's been a while since these two teams played. The good news is BYU has won 6 straight games against ACC opponents. By the way, that does not include the exhibition win earlier this season at the Delta Center against North Carolina. So BYU on a bit of a run, taking on ACC opponents and coming out on top, which is certainly what we hope happens today at Madison Square Garden, and we are going to head there coming up next. We will be joined by Mark Durant. That's coming up next as Cougar Pregame Live continues on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
At Smith's, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Smith's shoppers never compromise. Smith's. Fresh for everyone.
You need a deck. You want a pool. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, NA member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Game day traffic on KSL News Radio, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Afternoon delays are setting in on the southbound drive of I-15. The first stretch goes from 4500 south to 90th south with a crash in the mix just after the south interchange. Those vehicles are out of traffic on the right shoulder. Then more heavy and slow traffic. This is actually both north and southbound I-15, starting just before Bangerter Highway towards Bluffdale. If you continue northbound I-15 in Salt Lake County, some busy traffic waiting for you between 33rd South and downtown. Slow down southbound I-215's west belt from 7th North, off and on through the construction, down to the 201 junction, and also starting to see some of the usual busy and slower traffic northbound I-15 in Farmington, switching over to go to Highway 89, but we're all clear this afternoon. Southbound southbound I-15 coming from Ogden all the way down to the North Interchange. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.